friends. It's Avery, it's Trevor, it's Pat, it's Hanna, it's the citywide special. The Phillies struggle over the past week, losing 5 of their last 7. They do, however, come from behind with a walk-off win Tuesday night against the Orioles. Bryce Harper makes his debut at first base and proves to be more than capable at the position. Andrew Painter has Tommy John surgery, while Rhys Hoskins undergoes some light activity, hoping to make a return for a potential playoff run. The Eagles begin training camp. The Birds will open the preseason against the Ravens in just over 2 weeks. Joel Embiid is a married man. The MVP ties the knot with longtime girlfriend Ann DePaula, while James Harden shoves cheeseburgers down his fat gullet in preparation for the upcoming season. With the current team being a seemingly endless source of frustration, we look back to a previous Sixers squad that also disappointed us but was probably more fun. Also, aliens. All that and more coming up right now. How's it going, fellas?
Pretty good. Good to be back for another week. Had a nice refreshing weekend down in Delaware. Got my tan sustained. Ate some crabs. Played some cornhole. Feeling refreshed and recharged. Ready for another good episode here.
Nice, that's what's up. You said fellas. We got a female guest.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know how to...
It's not cool to say female, is it? Right? Isn't it not cool to refer to women as female?
Yeah, I don't think you should do that. But maybe fellas and fellettes.
Yeah,
fellas and
yeah.
I don't know what the female version of fellas is.
Fellex, that works.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or
yeah.
women fellas.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
we can all be. We're all fellas here.
Yeah, there we go. It's a gender neutral term on the pod here.
Yeah.
But I'm good. Had a nice dinner. Had some salmon. I actually did it in the air fryer. That's been my go-to move lately.
I've been doing tilapia in the air fryer now because I got the bigger one now.
Yeah.
I can put bigger shit in there. That's so much better than bacon in the oven. Get that crisp.
Hell yeah, it's like Game Genie, man. It makes cooking easy.
Yeah. It's like a cheat code.
Set it, forget it. But yo, I had the most banging corn, man. It's that Jersey corn. It's that time of year, yo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Glad to hear.
Hell yeah. Tomatoes are popping off. Peaches are in season.
Blueberries. I got these blueberries, man. The size of my thumbnail. Big as hell. I was like, ooh. Jersey produce, man. It's all that rain's going somewhere. It's going to our produce.
Popping off.
But yeah, all good. Hanna is our first women guest. How you doing?
I'm great. Here to talk about the nostalgia.
Yeah, we don't want to focus too much on the current Sixers squad.
Yeah,
Good
that's what
Lord.
I'm here for.
But yeah, we can focus on the 0-1 Sixers a little later on. Trevor, what do we want to lead off with? You got some takes? You got some shit to fire off?
Well, I did have a quick update on one of our previous story we talked about. You guys remember? I guess this was probably about 3 weeks ago. We were talking about Bankroll, the
luxury
bar.
Yeah, I remember Bankroll.
Yeah, the luxury sports bar. Well, came out today. Headline in the Enquirer: an online auction is planned to sell contents of the troubled Bankroll sports bar after 4 months. So they're officially auctioning off their liquor license and all of the kitchen and bar equipment, the TVs, everything.
So what are they going to do?
I don't know. It says that the owners are still hopeful to shift it to some other kind of thing. But yeah, you can actually go. There's a website where you can actually find
eBay.
It's I forget, one of these like online auction house things.
What a pathetic attempt. I mean, to be the person that's tried to open up a bar in Philadelphia and failed, that's got to be one of the more pathetic things, right there.
Quaker City Auctioneers.
Quaker City Auctioneers.
So if you want like an 8-foot by 9-foot TV,
hell yeah,
you go bid on that. You can.
It would fit right there, just about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
that's
not quite 8 feet.
Well, you lose the drop ceiling.
Yeah, Trevor, you got to get your landlord to do some work on your house so you can fit an 8-foot by 9-foot TV down here.
Yeah, I guess.
That'd be ideal.
Then we can put in money for
we really
it, man.
We would feel like we would be in the World Cup.
What we really need to do is pool all our cash together and try to get their liquor license.
That's the biggest item there. Fuck a TV. Yeah,
that's like $180K.
They'll make money off that shit for sure. No one wants their fucking TV.
Not going to make their money back at all, but
no, but that's a hot commodity right there. Liquor licenses in Philly. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, we don't need to touch on it too much, but the corner bar is dying. We could go ahead and buy that liquor license and open our own corner bar.
Oh my God. Hosting live podcasts while having a fresh bar right there.
Yeah, the citywide special, the bar, yo. we give our patrons the opportunity to record an episode.
Oh man, I don't know. That's too much. I don't know if I could be able to sustain that. I'd have to give up one or the other. I couldn't be drinking like this and then owning a bar and then having the podcast in the bar that we own.
Sure, you could.
Yeah, you don't want to.
You'd just never leave.
I know myself.
It would just become your life.
I know who I am. I couldn't do it.
All right.
You put a dartboard in there or a shuffleboard or two.
You
Maybe a cot.
Yeah.
Damn, we could turn it into a music venue too.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, there's too many ideas.
If this shit blows up, you know what I mean? We get the money. If the
someday
market stays hot.
Our podcast is world famous. We'll have all that income. Look out, man. Citywide special pod and bar.
It says on the sign it says pod first, and also there's a bar in here.
But the Phillies turn it around.
Yeah,
it's good to see them do that today. Get that next win the series against Baltimore, which is a very good team, hot team coming in here. In a tough division. Phillies on what looked like almost an endless losing slide, which was tough to watch. After the break last year was like, oh yeah, after the All-Star break, we're like, here we go. Like, they started putting together some wins. They were like, all right, this team might have some juice. It was a lot more exciting. I feel like this is more of, instead of a plane taking off into the playoffs, we're kind of just crashing and, the wheels don't quite come out to land. So you're like, shit, we're fucked up with that. The one flap isn't coming up. Like, we're going to barely get into the playoffs. And like they say, make it. That's all they got to do. But
that's what he did last year.
I'd rather make it on the uptick. We're not necessarily a hot team. I mean, we change the lineup every day. We got guys going up, going down to AAA, back up to now.
Your boy Cody.
Cody's gone. I know. It's a shame.
Oh yeah, Cody Clemens.
So is my other boy though, my main man. Yeah, his bitch ass is out of here. Derek Hall, bye-bye. I hope he never comes back. Fucking bum.
But yeah, to your point, like, they have been kind of inconsistent, right? Like, it's kind of been the thing all season. They'll win 5, lose 5, win 4, lose 4, win 7, lose 6, win 5 out of 6, lose 4 out of 6, and hopefully this taking 2 out of 3 from Baltimore is the start of one of their hot streaks. Schedule gets a little easier. But yeah, what about Bryce Harper at first base? We got to talk about that, man. He looked good.
Yeah. He's pretty much, like in that first series, they kind of had every kind of play thrown at him that you could think of, and he seemed to handle it all pretty well. He had that catch where he just falls into the camera well. You remember that?
Yeah.
Dude,
oh, yeah.
It was funny. Everyone was talking about how impressed that was, but I will say, all he had to do is kind of reach over. If you see, the ball was not that far over. It's like, dude, could you not like jump over and try to injure yourself, please?
Yeah, he's got to be dramatic, man.
Yeah.
That's the life of a Philly athlete.
10 out of 10, though. 10 out of 10 at first base. I mean, I think defensively he's the best first baseman we've had this year.
Probably in the last several years, quite frankly.
I mean, even beats Hoskins that way. I've got my piece on him about his defensive abilities, but Harper does better, and I think his bat has kind of followed suit with him playing more. Where, like, it's tough playing DH when you're just sitting there, and Crook made this point last night where he's like, you're playing DH, you don't really get into the game. You're sitting there for a lot of the time, and then you go up to bat, 4 times a game. But the fact that you're fielding balls, you're making plays, you're all revved up, you're excited, then you get up to bat, you're a lot more juiced up, ready to roll. Your adrenaline's pumping. When you're DH like that, Schwarber might benefit from that shit, but I think Harper needs to be active in the actual game more so than not, and you're seeing it work out, especially this series against Baltimore.
Yeah. He had that dinger last night. After the Orioles broadcasters were saying, yeah, he's washed. He ain't what he used to be. Shut their ass up real quick. Then tonight he had that
me up pretty quick. I was talking shit last week about him.
Yep. Yep. And then we're watching the game today. You're like, yeah, you know what? He hasn't really been hitting for much power. He's been hitting for average. His on-base percentage is good. He's driving in runs. I'm like, who tried to tell you that 2 or 3 pods ago and you're giving me a hard time? Now what?
I thought that it was going to invoke, him hitting more, like Trey Turner for a brief stint, but I don't even want to talk about him anymore.
Ugh.
But, yeah, Bryce Harper, I'm pumped about him. Trey Turner, man.
Mom needs to call him up and threaten to disown his ass, man.
I don't know who needs to call him now. Maybe some old teachers or some like old nun. Somebody needs
Mom's
to call him up.
Be like, dude, I'm taking that Nintendo away.
Yeah,
They're throwing away your PlayStation if you don't start hitting the ball.
It's bad. I mean, that guy's in an all-around slump, and it's not even affecting his bat. His fielding is shit. Like, the guy just is playing terrible baseball.
The other night where he makes 2 errors, ends up getting ejected.
In back-to-back innings. It's like, dude, I don't know. I mean, Castellanos, at least he played hard last year and was okay and had, a rut. But Turner just looks horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. Might just be a down year. I don't know. I'm not too worried long term. I mean, we kind of went over this before, but it's like, I'm not like one of these people that are like, oh my God, that contract's terrible. How do we do this?
It's 1 year.
I think, I'm not worried at all. It just sucks right now.
I'm not saying the contract is shit. I'm just saying that, like, damn, that's pathetic though.
He's
like,
in a bad
you
spot.
paid him all that money because he was the best shortstop in baseball. I would rather him. You can be an average baseball player. I'm okay with that, but he's just bad. He's not even being an average shortstop. He can't field. He can't hit. He can't even tie his shoes right. I mean, the guy's just shit in the bed.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue balls and strikes and get ejected. That's about the only thing he's done right in the last. Ugh.
But I'm hopeful. The Phillies are good. They got to win. They won the series. Now they have a pretty light schedule coming into it, so just got to secure that wild card spot, and we're cooking.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much about all there is to say about the Phils, right? Oh, there's Scott Rowland, Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's something.
Scott Rowland. I was surprised, right? Like, I was kind of surprised the Phillies social media tweeted and, like, posted stuff about him making the Hall of Fame. But I think I was more surprised how many people were furious about it. Like, why are you so mad about this? He was a Philly 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year 26 years ago.
Yeah,
People are still holding a grudge over this.
I was saying, not to like chew by, but I was like always a Roland guy. This was kind of like the first time, like as a kid, where I finally realized just how pathetic the Phillies were at the time. Because before it was like I was like young enough to just and naive enough that I was always like, oh well, if the Braves lose 15 games and we win 15 games and we can be in first place, all that shit. But then when it got to the point where it's like, oh, our best player doesn't want to play here. Mm-hmm. We're bad. I was like, damn, like this team is bad. Like I didn't blame him for it. Like whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
no one wants to spend their best years on a shitty team.
If anything, it kind of spurred the Phillies into action, right? Like he got traded in 2002, 03, and then that was really when they started to get better. That was when Rollins was already up, but they called Utley up, they called Howard up. 4 years later, they win the NL East. And then after that, they went on that run. So I think Rowland probably got the hell out because he was like, yeah, I don't want to be a part of a losing culture. And that was kind of their wake up and smell the roses moment. It's like Kurt Schilling left or got traded. Yeah, he wanted to leave, so they traded him. Rowland left. 2 future Hall of Fame. Kurt Schilling should be in the Hall of Fame. He's not. But 2 future Hall of Famers in like span of 2 years left the team, and they're like, all right, we got to start calling up our prospects and really caring about this team. And then they brought in Jim Thome, Hope and CBP.
Love Jim Thome.
And the rest, they say, is history. So yeah, I'm not mad about Scott Rowland. Good for him. He went out, won a World Series, had a great career, won multiple Gold Gloves. He's a Hall of Famer. He did what he had to do. I don't understand the vitriol. Now, J.D. Drew, I would still throw batteries at that asshole.
Yeah. He got what he deserved, let's be clear. I guess that'll just about wrap up the Phils. Anything that we want to say about the Eagles? Not really much gone there. They're just started training camp.
Nothing, but we're back, baby. That's it. That's all.
I think today Carter had a couple of, or at least like one sack on Jalen Hurts. So.
I heard he got there in like 2 seconds.
Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
I remember I saw people were saying that it was like the first 2 plays of training camp, Jalen Hurts gets sacked or whatever, and I'm just like, damn, Jalen Carter must be really fucking good, dude. that was my reaction.
Jordan Davis came in looking lean too. Looking at the side-by-side pictures, he looks good. I'll save that for another episode, but they look good. It's good to have him back in town and just back here. I'm excited.
The boys are back in town.
I'm jazzed though. I'm geeking. I can't. Yeah, I'm fucked up.
It's like, I won't go ahead and do the whole song, but yeah, it is exciting to have him back. I obviously we'll have plenty of time to talk about training camp and all that good stuff. I guess some NFC East notes. What do I got written down here? The Cowboys are kind of fucked, man.
Well,
you seen Zach Martin's
he didn't want
holding
to
out?
play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and they just paid, what's his name? They just dropped a bunch of money.
Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, so
he's
I mean,
overrated in my
15
opinion.
picks in 3 years, I get that, but he's also given up like 2,000 yards.
Exactly.
Like the guy's given up the most.
AJ Brown cooked him that one game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Double
Devontae
move.
Smith
Yeah.
did.
His whole reputation is based on the amount of interceptions he has, but it's because he's a super high risk player and just tries to jump routes and he gets burned on it a lot.
He reminds me
Like
of
he's
like
gonna do a double move on him
Namdi
and whoop.
He reminds me of like Namdi Asamoah, where like he didn't really cover that well, but he was a ball hawk. Where like Asante Samuel at least could cover guys and pick off the ball. Trayvon Diggs is just, I mean, whatever. If you guys want to just rely on that shit, go for it. Pay him the big bucks. I'm cool with that. But you got a guy that is in the trenches supporting a subpar quarterback that you have.
I wouldn't say subpar.
I think he is. I would
He's
say
par,
I
man.
think I'm going to say subpar.
Here
this year
you go again.
I think this year he will be.
You're talking about
'cause-
Dak?
Yeah, I think
He's good. I mean, look, I'm
He's
a little more
average to slightly above
I
average.
think he
I'm a little more bullish on the Cowboys than you guys are.
You're smoking
still
bad
think,
dope.
I still think they're good. I still think they're probably the second best team in the NFC. Like,
Well, duh. Who we got? You got a crippling franchise
Yeah,
in the Commanders. You got the Giants, who are just.
well, I mean the
They get
NFC, not
lucky.
the NFC East.
Oh, you think they're the second best team in the NFC?
I think they're better than the Niners. Yeah. And then who else is there? Like nobody.
The Vikings.
Lions could surprise some people.
Man, I keep hearing that.
I'm
shit,
still
but
I'm
not.
still a Seahawks guy, man.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think the whole Zach Martin thing is big, more important than people think that it is. Like I think that could be a really, really big hiccup.
He's like their,
He's
different position,
Dude.
but he's kind of their Lane Johnson. You know,
He's
he's out of
Exactly.
the lineup.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of
He's the
difference.
best right guard in the NFL. He's
Yeah.
a Hall of Famer. I have written down here. The rest of their offensive line is old. Tyron Smith is old.
banged up.
Always hurt.
He reminds me of Jason Peters now.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
toward the end.
Or everyone else is young and unproven, like high draft picks, yeah. But
And
they
you got to
haven't
go up
proven
against,
anything.
not for nothing, like, even if you take out the Eagles' defensive front, they got to play twice a year. You got Deron Payne, like, that Washington defensive front
Even
is
the Giants.
is no joke. You're gonna get a healthy, what's his name, back. Who is their
Chase Young.
Chase Young back. Like, that defensive front is phenomenal. And the Giants' defensive front is solid, too. Like, you got one guy that is your best O-lineman doesn't want to play, you're fucked. I mean, it's... And that's just interdivision, not. And you got to play other really good teams out there this year. That could really fuck them up,
Yeah, Dak's going to be running for his life, man.
which I would love. That I mean, we saw that ankle break last time. I don't want to say anything, but damn, if you make him run too much,
I'm not. That thing was flopping around like a sock. It was like
man,
this, yo.
that shit went flop. Me and Ava were like, oh,
Yeah, I was watching it at your house. Yeah, his shit was limp like a sock. You could see the bone.
yeah. The funny thing is, they didn't catch it before they went to commercial, so they replayed it in slow mo. We were like, oh, let's see. We're like, oh, what the?
Yeah,
It
was gruesome.
It
That
was
was
bad.
some grotesque
It
shit.
was real bad. But
Yo, Hanna, you've been in the medical profession and whatnot. Though I guess your job's mostly just paperwork. But what is the most gruesome thing you ever seen working? It can even be.
I think you know what I'm gonna say.
You can go ahead and say it.
The
pod's a
pubic
safe
crabs
oh
Yeah.
man,
that were pulled out of the nurse's crotch in the lobby.
out of the nurse's crotch.
place.
This is an
You
inside
gotta
job.
elaborate.
She came to the office to demonstrate that she got lice or crabs, something from the patient's home. So she came to the office and pulled them out of her pad.
And she was just sitting there pulling them out, right? Like just.
And we were watching on the camera from another room.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I
I've
think
seen
I've,
some pretty crazy things, but
Dean's has some wild stories, man.
yeah, we got to get all our medical friends in the medical field.
The woman
We had to get
with her
them
hand
on.
fell off.
What?
Remember he was talking about that? It was like one of
The
these.
what?
It was one of these cases where it's like these people who are like addicted to drugs who like have some injury and they should have gone to the hospital months ago, but they don't because they're afraid they're gonna like go into withdrawal while they're in there and all this stuff. And I guess this woman like had like some kind of infected like wrist or something, had this thing wrapped around it.
Yeah. I
She
remember
finally
this.
came in, and then when they took the wrap off, her hand just like fell right off. And he said one of the doctors like threw up and shit.
Yeah, how could you not?
It's like, yeah, that would definitely be the most fucked up thing I've ever seen.
I would throw up and shit my pants at the same time. I'd be like, what the like?
Just everything's coming out.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Useless.
I would be completely immobilized and a total waste of all that time in medical school. I'd be like, well, this is a terrible mistake here. My bad. I could not do this.
Yeah, it'd be like the cop on Twin Peaks that's like constantly throwing up.
Nothing prepared you for that shit. Oh, hell
yeah, I guess
no.
if I just saw someone's hand fall off. Ugh.
Who's picking that? I'm not picking that thing up. I'd be looking at you like, hey.
Do you think the janitor just comes in with a dustbin? Just sweeps up?
Hey, guys.
We're not doing anything with that.
Did you guys need this for later? No, you got it, Steve. All right, cool. Thanks, man.
I mean, professionals are walked into that. It's not like your first day, someone's hand falls off, you know?
I mean...
But like...
I remember my first adult diaper I had to change.
Wiping shit I'm okay with, but your hand...
I don't know, man. A smelly-ass adult.
That was pretty rough.
I've heard some horror stories.
From not knowing what I was getting into, but now that doesn't bother me at all. You guys could all shit yourselves. I'd clean you, Pat.
Dude, I definitely...
If that happened to you.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I definitely, when I was in the hospital for a week, like a few years ago, I gained a huge appreciation for nurses and shit, because I would have to like, sometimes I'd have to just like walk up and down the aisle just to like, you know, whatever. I was just something I was supposed to do. And then like on the one end of the hallway, there was this one guy in this one room, and like the smell was so bad. It was like just being outside the door. It was like I felt like you were like next to an elephant cage or something. It was like, good Jesus Christ.
Damn, what the fuck?
Yeah, that sounds.
It
rough.
was like, ugh.
So did you like shit your pants on accident? Be like, oh, nurse, I gotta like get a little wipe real quick. You were just walking up and down the aisle, no big deal.
No, I was capable.
Damn, man. Yeah. I think I'd much rather see someone's ankle flopping around than have to deal with picking someone's hand that fell off their arm off the floor, or dealing with someone picking crabs out of their privates.
Oh, yeah, no. Oh, man.
Ugh.
Get itchy just thinking about it.
But
also, like, damn, I love crabs, though.
Not
those
those
crabs.
types of crabs.
No. I know, but, you know, I'm all...
Just get some old bay.
Yo,
where you throwing those things at?
what about a prolapsed rectum? It's like, nah.
Yep. I've unfortunately never seen one of those either. Never seen any of these things.
Hey.
Thankfully.
Yeah, I mean, the perks to not being a healthcare professional.
Just oblivious.
Kudos.
Ignorance is bliss, right?
It is.
But, all right, yeah, I guess back to the NFL and the Eagles.
Did you guys watch any more quarterback?
I did.
I watched the next 2 episodes. I'm at episode... I finished episode 5. I started 6 and I fell asleep. What about, Pat, you said you finished it, right?
I finished. It was tough to finish because obviously the end is about the Super Bowl, so I haven't watched a single highlight or anything from that since that day. So it was a little bittersweet, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of fucked up. I was really mad and upset and like,
I just have the last one to watch. I haven't watched it yet.
I'm like the Michael Jordan meme, just sitting there crying to myself like...
I will say the episode before that, when it first showed Mahomes getting that ankle injury, that just pissed me off because I was like, how did we not beat this crippled ass motherfucker?
Or then in the Super, I didn't watch this yet.
And he got hurt in the Super Bowl too. Yeah, he still.
I remember that because I felt good. Well, now I didn't cheer, but I didn't necessarily make sure he was okay.
You were probably cheering.
I was cheering. Yeah, I was cheering.
I know your ass.
Yeah.
You
I
were
was like,
cheering.
yeah.
I was definitely like very quietly like, fuck yeah.
I was like, no. People knew where I stood at that point for sure. No pun intended, because I could stand. My ankle didn't hurt. Like bitch ass Pat Mahomes, but he did win. The thing is, if we had one,
really call him bitch ass.
I know. Big running plays.
This shit's so frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, but I did finish it up. It was great. Pat Mahomes is a fucking Terminator. Kirk Cousins. I mean, it's hard to talk shit on just like mayo and white bread.
I definitely came out of it like liking him more. Like I've never like had any reason to like hate Kirk Cousins. I guess he was on like Washington for a while, but they were shitty. So it's like I don't like. I'm just like, I've never been like, fuck Kirk Cousins. He's just like a good, but like, I don't know. The show definitely makes him seem very like endearing. And
the dude is just such a goofy guy.
Yeah, he's like, just definitely a goofball.
Just a complete noodle.
He's not
Yeah.
someone you laugh with. He's definitely someone you laugh at.
Yeah.
but,
I mean,
like,
he said shit. They showed like the throwback jerseys that the Vikings gonna wear this year, and he was like, "Coolio."
Oh, dude, yeah.
How's that guy?
Oh, my
You're in a
God.
fucking NFC Championship game, and this guy's like, "All right, guys, like, what is that speech gonna look like?"
I would say I think it was in like the 5th episode, or yeah, maybe the 5th episode. That was like, it showed Pat Mahomes and his wife doing a tour of their, like, at the time they were still
their
building
brand
his
new
house.
home.
Oh, that was
huge,
the 6th one.
Yeah, it's like the huge like mansion,
Mm-hmm.
and that scene just whatever positive feelings I acquired about Pat Mahomes all went out the window after watching this. I was like, this is the most grotesque shit I've ever seen. I hate I don't know. I just something about like I hate people with huge ass houses, and just like it's not even just the huge ass house, but the fact that they have like the 30-yard like mini football field, the just like the 3-part golf hole, and it's like what? That's just a stupid thing. It's just a
You never
want
to leave your home. You just want to stay at
like
the
you're
house.
you're just gonna like shoot your same golf hole over and over again for the rest of your life, like,
with her just yelling obnoxiously in your ear the whole time.
and it's just oh god,
Yeah, I mean,
grotesque.
the only person that I felt the more that I have respect for out there is Mariota. Like, I feel that guy's just kind of
Yeah, he kind of
doing
just got
his thing.
phased out of the series because it was just like
Yo.
where he just leaves a team and it's like. But yeah, it was. I mean, it worked out for him because
his thigh like separated off the fucking bone.
yeah,
It was like
I don't
can't-
blame him for anything.
No,
Yo, Pete, like, I feel like when he left the team, it was kind of misconstrued as...
He gave up.
He got benched. He's giving up. But when you watch this, you get some context. Yeah, he had to get knee surgery. And also, he just had a baby. He just
Right.
had his first kid. He got benched. He's injured. The team's not going anywhere.
he was
Good for
like,
him. He's
like, I'm
taking
not-
paternity leave.
He also realized that, like, yeah, if I have another year left in me, I'll wait till I can play as a backup on a good team or wherever. Like, I'm not going to risk my... once they said the injury, I'm like, God damn, that shit's brutal. And, like, it was tough watching him having to rehab that up, nurse the new baby up, and hear the media just constantly rip into him. Like, first
Right.
off, Atlanta ain't shit. Like, once they lost Matt Ryan, like, no one expected Atlanta to be good anyway. So, like, what's he going to play with? A tight end that hasn't lived up to expectations. No more Calvin Ridley. Like, relax, everybody. But yeah, it was good. It was a decent show. Happy to hear that Hurts turned it down in
Yeah,
true Hurts
twice.
fashion, which is cool. He turned down last season and this
And this
upcoming
one, yeah.
season, I
Yeah.
guess, which is cool.
Keep the main thing, like he always
Exactly.
says. The main thing's playing quarterback for the or for the Philadelphia Eagles, not
Football
playing
Eagles.
quarterback for Netflix.
I can't wait
Philadelphia
to
football
hear
Eagles.
more Hurts quotes. That shit gets me fired up in the morning.
But yo, Hannah, you were a Mahomes fan. When did it all change for you? That was your guy, I remember. When it all changed.
I'm not quite sure.
You're not like on the Mahomes train now, though, right?
No.
Hell yeah.
But I can say, and it is kind of dark, I guess, but my true attachment to Mahomes was because it was like a grief outlet. I don't know if you knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was, the timing after that season was when everything happened. So it was like, there was like a glimmer of underdog and something happening there when he first started.
Okay.
So, and my mom even pointed out to me.
Wow, I respect that.
And
okay.
I was like, what? Like, she's like, look at this guy play, And I was like, whoa. Like, when I saw the end of the first season.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, all right, I wear red now, I guess. I'm at
Well,
Big Charlie.
yeah, I was gonna say your Mahomes fandom brought us some good times.
That was a
that
good
Super
time.
Bowl run at Big Charlie's was
and
cool.
We needed that.
Yeah,
you know?
we were going through some shit, and
The
that
turnaround.
was really cathartic.
Yeah, that was a crazy
'Cause
season.
The Eagles were bad, or not bad,
Nah, but they weren't.
Yeah, that was the year Wentz got the concussion.
Mhm.
The first
Jadeveon
playoff
Clowney.
game. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Seahawks.
yeah, we needed someone to root for and like someone to carry our grief. And,
I always-
yeah.
At that point, he was an underdog, too.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Now, I don't think his dopey brother wasn't in the spotlight.
Oh my god.
And
His-
I didn't listen to his voice either. I only
Oh,
watched
God.
the
You didn't
actual
hear Kermit the
games.
Frog?
So I didn't know. People would be like, oh my god,
Let's
his
go,
voice
guys.
is so annoying. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm just like watching him throw.
I do.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I fucking do.
This shit is
Meat
not.
wad sounding MF, dude.
up the wrong motherfucker.
Yeah,
You woke up the wrong motherfucker.
I can't do it. But I will say,
Yo, why you punch me, Matt Crosby? Max Crosby, why'd you punch me for?
Oh my god!
I know what you're doing, but I'm just trying to do meat. I know what
That's kind of what he sounds like, though. But
you're
yeah,
being too aggressive there.
This
Yeah.
golf course can only be 3 holes.
but yeah, I mean, he is a great quarterback. Couple notes that I had from, I guess it was episode 4, was like, it was pretty cool how Andy Reid was talking about the laboratory.
mm-hmm.
Like, they let the players design their own plays and, like...
or at least pitch their ideas or whatever. Like, he'll have a basis of it, and then he's like, all right, well, you see what you want to do with it.
Yeah,
Like
and then-
that snow globe shit or whatever they did.
Or Mahomes was like, yeah, I came up with the one play where, like, I'm in motion, like, I'm coming in motion left to right.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, right to left. And then he's like, I motion back and take the snap. Or no, I take the snap, then I turn around and motion right.
Yep.
Or no,
He takes a
he
snap.
motions the
and
opposite
then-
direction he came
yeah.
from. And, like, he's like, yeah, defenses don't expect a quarterback to do that. And, like, I checked with our rules guy, and he said that's legal. So then I installed that play. Then he showed them, like, they showed them using it in a game. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
Andy Reid, it gave me more, like,
Andy
I
Reid
don't-
was the
I
comes
don't hate
across
Pat
as the
Mahomes.
man.
I think because we played the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, we have this newfound, like, man, fuck the Chiefs. Well, at least I do. But I have no knock on Pat Mahomes. Like, the guy is still a phenomenal. He doesn't come off as arrogant as Brady did.
Oh,
Like, the
definitely
guy
not.
still earns it and is a great player, great athlete. And I fucking love Andy Reid. I mean, the guy, you know, we had no knock on him. It was just he needed to get out of Philadelphia. Like, he had a pretty rough stretch. His son had died. Like, his time here was up.
Yeah.
But, you know, hell of a guy to let walk away. I mean, the guy is a true football genius. I mean, I think at the end of the day, he's going to be a better coach than Bill Belichick was.
Yeah, you probably won't have
Big
as many
time.
rings.
Bill Belichick's on fraud alert, dude.
He is a fraud, man. He's a fucking
It's like-
fraud and a half.
He's yeah. I mean, I feel like lately, last year, some of the post game Bill Belichick press conferences were starting to feel like late Eagles era Andy Reid. You
Mhm.
know, it was just like
I could
very.
have put them in better position to win.
Yeah, it was like he used to be very defiant and blah 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 during like press conferences, and this time he had very I gotta do a better job type energy.
Oh,
you know?
I mean, those dirty ass cut off hoodies don't have the same kind of cool appeal as they did when you're up, 35-0 on the team. The guy just looks like a
yeah. Now he just looks like a bum.
yeah, looks like a true
It's like,
Boston bum.
oh, yeah.
Like living on the streets. I don't know, but yeah, I like Andy Reid. Respect to Pat Mahomes. They had a great game, but we'll get ours this year.
Yeah, we coming for that ass. I guess my last note was the one episode, it was the football guy episode, if you will, where Mahomes is watching film, and like for me this was cool, like it's obviously someone that knows football and like understands tendencies. It was cool to see, but I would suggest like just watching film to anyone that's not a huge football fan, right? Because he's watching film of the Chargers getting ready for the game against them. And, like, he's pointing out, like, the nickelback is blitzing. You remember this?
Yeah. He's like, if they drop down, we can go. Like, they don't think I'm going to throw deep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, like, I send this receiver in motion. If a receiver travels with him, I know it's man.
Yep.
In that this guy may just drop back or he may blitz real hard.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I motion him back. If no one goes with him, that tells me it's some kind of zone and it's a zone blitz. So when he blitzes, that means, to your point, I'm going to have all that space out there that people don't really think I can hit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, I'm like studying his tendencies as well, like his body language. Is he on one foot,
It's amazing
like
how
which
much-
foot's leaning forward?
Within 15 seconds, they're doing
Yeah.
this while like hearing other shit. Like that was the coolest part. I mean, just
That
hearing
was
how,
awesome.
And honestly, Kirk Cousins did not on the same level, but it's amazing how much work besides the playbook and reading out plays and shit. But they really have to know. And Peyton Manning said it the best to start off the show too. Is like you have to know every position as good as they know their own position, while also knowing the plays and being an athlete too, which is like it's remarkable what they do.
Yeah.
And the fact that Mahomes makes it look so fucking easy, I mean, there's no reason why he's the MVP and, took them where they had to and they got their job done. But, you're starting to see that with Hurts a little bit here. But, yeah, it's incredible how much work that you don't realize goes into that game. And they have to know their other team's defense just as good as they do.
You
from
have
an
to review
opposite
film
view.
every week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he knew it immediately. Like, if they keep doing this, they don't think I'm going to throw deep at all. He's like, open up the playbook, Andy. Like, I'm going to start bombing this shit. And then next play, 40-yard bomb for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Because they thought without Tyreek Hill, they had nobody to do that shit with.
Yeah,
and of course,
teams used to play that deep shell coverage
Yep.
on them. And, like,
if they covered deep, you hit Kelsey. If they covered short, you
they
hit
kept
Tyreek.
hitting Kelsey on that one drag route over and over again. He scores the one touchdown.
Yep.
It's like, damn. But no, I think, like, for people that think football is just, like, all macho and, like, brawn, nah, man. Like, that episode, that was the football guy episode, man.
Big time.
I was eating my
Geeking out.
popcorn. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
this is good.
I had to rewind a couple times. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? But it was cool. I like that shit.
Yeah. It kind of satisfied the football itch for me. And,
Perfect segue into the
exactly.
spring training and getting ready for everything like that. So, yeah, we're pumped. Birds are back in town. We're ready to roll.
Hell yeah. So, the Sixers
yeah, I guess
are a basketball team to play in Philadelphia.
we got to talk about the current team for a couple minutes.
Yeah, just a couple minutes.
This bullshit, dude.
Joel Embiid got married. That was kind of cool. It was,
Good for him. He got a ring.
Yeah, he finally got a ring. Notable, the people that were present there, we saw Melton was there, Tobias,
Harden wasn't there. Harris.
Yeah,
you said
Tobias.
Yeah. Niang.
Fareed, Springer.
Yeah, B-Ball, Paul, Niang, Mo Bamba, I believe.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going off like pictures that I've seen. I'm sure there's
someone said someone I follow on Twitter said they seen Mo Bamba there. I forget who.
Mike Rubin was there, of course.
Man's everywhere.
He's at every party,
fucking
man.
everywhere.
Party man.
You seen that picture of him with his shirt off?
Oh my
looking
god,
like a rooster.
That was weird.
His little bird chest ass.
He said it's my first shirtless pick since I was 15. I was like, no one asked you to do this.
There's probably a reason for that, buddy.
Yeah, we're literally cool. Like no one. Yeah,
looking like a skinny kangaroo.
All these rich weird dudes
here.
taking pictures with their shirts off. Like, anyone try to see Musk or Zuckerberg or you with your shirt? Like, you got it. You stay in your lane. You're good to go. We don't need to see this shit.
He needs to get a
Brad
grip.
Pitt. All right, I would would be okay. No big deal. But
You sound like you want to see that.
I'm not gonna look away as fast as I
would.
did with Ruby. You know what I mean? Ruby like, haha, like, yeah, this looks like me. I'm good to go. But Brad Pitt, you're like, damn, all right, like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, Ruben, man, he's a clown. Yo, but I was saying who wasn't there was Harden.
Harden.
And
Tucker.
Maybe he was training.
They were both clubbing.
Maybe they were training.
think part of the reason Harden probably didn't go was because Daryl Morey was there. I heard Daryl Morey was there. So, like, could you imagine if
you think Harden probably had? I'm sure Harden had an invite.
I would think
Had
so.
to have.
If Jaden Springer's get an invite,
I don't think because
Obama's been on the team for a month. He got an invite.
him and Embiid have been friends
Still
prior.
though,
But
you got Harden. Like,
I don't think it really matters too much. I think
maybe he was busy. Maybe like he was visiting his mom or something like that.
he was eating cheeseburgers. But no, I think Morey was there, so Harden was like, "Oh, if he's going, I ain't going." Like, you ever have beef with someone, right? And you get an invite to some place, and then you find out that person's going, and you don't go.
I tend
think
to like
that's
to
that
go
situation.
for that reason.
No, you don't.
Because then you get a little bit drunk. You get cause a little scene.
Oh, then you get thrown
Then you
out
make
of
because if
Xfinity
you
Live.
go, well,
start
listen.
fighting.
All I'm saying is that hey, you go and then you make them feel awkward. You know what I mean? But anyway, like you said a couple weeks ago, the NBA is the most dramatic league in the country. So
dramatic. all
hello,
the time.
this ain't Sex in the City. And Embiid had a wedding. Go fucking celebrate his wedding. Oh, I can't go because darn boy, you fucking come on now. We're grown men over here talking about whose wedding. Come on now, what are we doing here?
Hey, that's the NBA.
Bullshit. Daryl Morey looking like a big old dork and shit. Probably had pastel suit on, whatever. Like, you're gonna not show up to Embiid's wedding because you may or may not be on the team. Who gives a fucking shit?
Yeah, Niang was there.
If
He's
that's
not
your
on the team
friend,
anymore.
why? Like, Morey is a businessman. You're doing it. I don't know. This is the shit I'm talking about. That we're focusing so much time on, like, who attended the white party, who took a selfie with someone at this rich dude's beach house, who went to Embiid's wedding, which Harden probably should have went, barring a family emergency, whatever. Maybe something happened, whatever. But like, damn, man,
I think he didn't want to see Morey. He was scared Morey was going to beat his ass.
what a bitch. Well,
Harden would rock Morey, I would think anyway. But Harden's been eating those cheeseburgers with PJ Tucker, man. I'm just getting that fat suit ready. Maybe Morey would stand a chance with his
at
pastel
least PJ
shorts.
though looks buff though. Like he gets thick, but he's not like he's kind of built like a linebacker. Harden gets big, he just gets right in
It's
the
that
old
fat
gut.
suit, dude.
Yeah.
But we don't need to dwell on this current iteration of the team for too long.
Not much.
This team's pathetic. They're going to be more fun off the court this year than on the court.
Pat Bev is going to be the
I
whole
think
show.
so.
It's the only show.
But let's get to the 0-1 Sixers. Talk about
Yes.
everything but the chip. It's what we
Yeah.
have our esteemed guest here for mostly, and a good Mahomes take. But yeah, we watched everything but the chip yesterday. What y'all thought of it, Pat? Sorry, you got to wait a week.
Not a problem.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I haven't really revisited that team in a long time. Like some of those like players, it was like, oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, that guy. Like, I like the only like before that, I was like, I remember Eric Snow, I remember Mutombo, and obviously AI and all that shit. But some of the more supporting characters, it was kind of cool to like revisit that stuff, and yeah, just the whole deal.
Yeah, so we watched both documentaries. We watched the Iverson.
Yeah, we
week
watched the
before
Iverson documentary.
to get real deep.
Yeah,
on
because
him
we couldn't watch
specifically.
everything but the chip at first.
Yeah, that free trial situation.
Yeah.
We'll tell you about it, Pat, so you
I
can watch it.
can relate.
They set it up so you can only watch it a week after.
Yeah,
before you
that's
sign up.
ass.
That's happened to
dude.
me. I was like, I'll put it on today.
Exactly.
They're
And I
really
was like,
focused on getting people to watch. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, this podcast does not endorse YouTube TV.
No.
Yeah,
We'll
miss
say
me with
that
that
much.
BS,
They're
And then it
dude.
expires that day, that 7 days later.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I canceled it as soon as you guys left last
$80.
night.
Good, don't give them no money.
$80 to watch one clip. You're like, I was like, I'm just gonna delete this shit. Like, I'm not gonna wait till next week. I'll just figure it out.
Yeah, you're smoking bad
Yeah.
dope. You think I'm spending all that money on
I
that?
see what trap this is. I'm like kind of high. I'm like, what the fuck? Mm-mm.
But it was good to see the chronological breakdown of the whole season, and like beforehand a little bit. But we had so much more context to like the possible trade and all that happened to Iverson in the other documentary,
Yeah,
which was so much more personal about his upbringing and the bowling alley. Like 30 minutes of footage about the bowling alley,
which is crazy. They had that footage from
which
like
was
the early
crazy.
'90s.
Yeah,
It's
that was
like,
wild.
damn.
Exactly. It was a N1 mixtape clip, basically.
Yeah,
To the side.
and one mixtape quality, that's for sure.
But yeah, it was good to see all that candid. Although if they had done some seating together, maybe talking together would have been cool. Like the interviews, like we had Pat Croce.
Oh,
Larry
yeah, they
Brown.
were all individual.
They
that's
never got
true.
to meet up at all.
Yeah,
Although I guess they'd seen each other since then many times. So what's the point of that?
yeah.
It could have been like like the Survivor, like the reunion thing at the end where they
Oh.
all bring everyone back.
They all sit on the couch together.
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
like, motherfucker.
YouTube
Reminisce.
TV didn't have money for that
No.
kind of reunion, though. No one's paying for
Because
it.
we're all getting the free trials, yeah.
Yeah, but that era was great, and I think that's what makes modern NBA unwatchable for me, is that
Yeah,
it has no heart.
It's very different.
There's
right.
no, yeah. I mean, just watching AI and just remembering how AI was, it was just kind of made me think like, damn, there are really are no more killers in this league. This makes me sound like such a boomer, but it's just like after getting kind of immersed in the AI era, I was like, damn, this league's gone soft.
It
So
has.
soft. Big
It
time.
really
I mean,
has,
you
though.
wouldn't be like 20 years ago. You wouldn't be like, oh, Eric Snow didn't go to AI's wedding.
Right,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
what I'm talking
right.
about.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah,
That's the shit I'm talking about.
no one gave a rat's ass back then, yo. Like,
Mm-mm.
it's like, who the hell cares? Like, granted, some of that's just like social media. Everything's just so prominent in front of us. But like,
Yeah, I'm sure if Twitter was around back then, it probably would have been just as bad.
I don't know,
Maybe not
man.
just as bad,
I
but-
mean, it depends on if you... I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over the dramatization of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we don't need to talk about this Sixers team. We can continue to focus on that one, yo. I thought that the doc was good. Both of them, really. Like, to your point, Hannah, the first one we watched.
Yeah, that
Kind
was,
of-
to be clear, that was Iverson
Yeah.
from like 2015, or I think is when that came out.
It was right before he got inducted to the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
yeah.
So, yeah, 2015. that one focused on a lot of his backstory, his coming up, and just his upbringing. Like, I didn't realize how serious, like, the allegations thrown at him for that bowling alley incident were, which was kind of crazy. I mean, it's Virginia. He's a black kid, and a bunch of white kids are going against him. South of the Mason-Dixon, you probably have a feeling how that's going to go, but I didn't realize how heavy that was. But then, also, like, what I really enjoyed about that one, right, was when they talked about, this is fast forward to the practice press conference. Like, we can talk about this a little bit, but for the longest time, like, for 20 years, that's been a meme.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come to find out, like, nah, that wasn't intended to be no meme. Like, he thought he was going in there because he was essentially going to say, like, I'm not getting traded, I'm staying here. And then as soon as he sits up there and sits down, they start asking him about practice. And, like, he's like, yeah, I didn't think I was there for that shit. Like, I thought I was there to say I wasn't getting traded. And then, like, they just start drilling him. Then at the end of it, he's had enough. He's like, you know what, man? Y'all couldn't last a day in my shoes. My best friend died. We lost, and I gotta deal with this shit. It's like, have y'all a lovely life, man, and live it up. And, like, he, like, walks away after that, and just like, wow. So this, like, people were just drilling him and getting on him for some stuff, not realizing, like, he's a person. He's going through the same losses, same, like, just personal struggles that everyone goes through, and, like, really kind of humanized it, which I'd always known the practice press conference was more, but getting to see all of that again, I was just like, wow.
Getting to see a past idol go through a human experience is definitely, like, a really enjoyable, as sad or as happy as the experience could be. It feels good to just see that, you know, it makes you almost more connected to your idol that way. Or any, like, you know, people look up to AI, and AI is such a model of culture, basketball, Philadelphia. He's an icon, and, like, you know, like you said, people know him now. A lot of people know him. It's just like the meme of that, like, we're talking about practice, but, like, to be able to see the whole breakdown of everything definitely is fun to see somebody just be human for a minute, which is nice. Which you don't get to see a lot. I feel like everyone's trying to find that hot clip of shit of someone going off or doing something stupid, but it's like, you know, like, damn, you're the guy that made, you know, someone a meme, but that's kind of fucked up in a way.
Yeah, I'll say on a lighter note, fucking Eric Snow.
Yo, Eric Snow looks like he ate Eric Snow, man.
Everyone else in the doc looked like kind of normal, just like a slightly older version of themselves, and then Eric Snow is just like...
looking like Eric Snow Globe. Looking large, man. I was just like, damn, my man.
He got chunked up.
But yeah, that was in my notes. He's looking like he weighs well over 300
damn,
pounds.
I fucking love that word chunk, I'm not gonna lie. That's just
dude, it was funny. I mean, when it got to the point where he, when, like, Eric Snow, like, broke his ankle and all that shit. Because it was funny. I was waiting for that part because I remember... Because I was, like, I guess 13 years old at the time or whatever, and I was playing, like, rec basketball or whatever, and I got, like, a little, like, stress fracture in my ankle, and I had to, like, it was, like, took a couple months to heal or whatever. Not, like, I didn't break my ankle, but it was, like, a stress, you know, like, a little, like, micro thing. And, like, I remember when that happened to Eric Snow, I was like, damn, Eric Snow's just like me. We're like the same. We got, like, the same shit going on, you know? Both guys playing basketball with fucked up ankles. He's just like me.
Damn, relatable.
The question is, could you play through it like Derek Hall should be able to play through a torn thumb ligament?
Oh,
I didn't. I sat out, man.
Totally unreliable. Back to AAA, your bitch
stress
ass.
fracture's no joke, dude.
So he never made it out of that league. Damn.
What other notes I got here? Yo, one of the notes I had, right, is speaking of, like, the whole events leading up to that 01 season. They're talking about trading Allen Iverson for Ben Wallace, who, like, ended up being, like, a great defensive player, but couldn't shoot for his life. And Chucky Atkins, who was, like, an eighth man on a mediocre Detroit team. They almost traded AI for them, too. Could you imagine if that happened? You traded AI for a couple bumps, essentially.
The answer for no response.
Yeah, for being left on red, right? It's like, damn, dude.
I mean, that's what happened with the Jimmy Butler situation.
Ugh.
Man.
Damn, I was gonna get there. You want to go there now?
What, you don't think Josh Richardson was an integral part of the 2019-20...
Really, the whole nucleus of this offense here. Fuck.
Well, I'm going to get there, but yeah, like Matt Geiger not waiving his no-trade clause, which is crazy that a scrub like him had a no-trade clause. But,
yeah, that was kind of wild to me. I was like, damn, I didn't even realize people had no trade
It's a good agent right there.
Yeah, they give his bum ass a no-trade clause.
Like a Scott Boras of basketball or some shit.
That's like giving me a contract to say I can only work 30 hours a week, but I want to get paid for 50 hours. It's like, yeah, that doesn't exist.
I do that now. It is so no, I'm kidding.
You're working too hard, man.
Little do they know.
What else I got written or typed up on here, rather? That All-Star game was great.
Yeah, that was back when the All-Star game was actually cool.
Yeah, now the All-Star game is such a gimmick.
It's so boring.
But that one was competitive down to the last bucket. Dudes were making threes, making plays. They were actually playing like they cared. It's like playing defense in an All-Star game. Mutombo had 22 rebounds in an All-Star game.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're lucky if the whole team gets 22 rebounds in an All-Star game.
150 to 185. It's like, all right,
just
cool.
let the fucking ball just drop and just bounce on the ground.
For real, yo. So I got that.
The dunk contest of 2000.
Oh, was that when Vince Carter put his elbow in the rim?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, see?
Iconic.
He's no Mac McClung, though, but...
That guy, that was nuts.
Yeah.
I will say that was probably one of the best moments in a long time in the dunk contest.
There was the one time a Philly athlete won anything this year.
And then we never saw from him again.
Nah.
Really?
Not really. But I guess fast forward a little bit. Yo, that Sixers-Raptors series, that series was live, dude. The best in the last 25 years of Sixers basketball. At least the last 25 years, probably farther. Like, the Sixers haven't played any series near as good as that one. Like, Iverson and Vince Carter just going back at it. 50-point game, 50-point game, 50-point game.
That was Vince Carter's thing.
Yeah.
He would match anyone.
Yeah.
So that's what it made it so good.
Yeah, and then Vince Carter missing that shot. I remember I was laying on the living room floor watching that shit with my parents. Back rimmed it. But now we can get to modern-ish Sixers. The Kawhi shot going in was karma for that Vince Carter shot back rimming, dude.
Yeah, like the same thing.
That was crazy.
Brutal.
Yeah, like on the documentary, I think it's Theo Ratliff or George Lynch, one of them's like, yeah, that Vince Carter shot just hung in the air forever. You felt like it was just going to be in there forever. Then fast forward to the Kawhi shot. Bounced on the rim 4 times. You thought that thing was just going to hang above the rim forever. Only thing is, this time it went in.
Mm-hmm. I remember I was on my mom's couch for that one.
Yep, I was sick. It was Mother's Day. I think I told this story on the pod. I had like 101-degree fever. And
you had your own Jordan flu game.
Yeah, I had my flu game. Mother's Day, I showed up and still came through for Mom.
Yeah.
And she gets up because she sees the shot hit rim once. She's like, okay, it's going to go to overtime. So then she comes back in the room a minute later. I'm just distraught, not saying a word. She's like, what happened? It's going to overtime, right? I'm like, nope. What a way to lose.
Damn.
So yeah, it was karmic, man, for the Vince Carter shot missing.
It's funny how sports can hold you in time like that with moments. So it's just like, it really does feel like shit kind of, you can feel the air leave the room. And that's why I feel like I just love sports, like just watching every kind of game that way, because like you watch all season to have it come to an end in a way, you know, you hate it to end, but then you see those moments where you're like, oh my God, this is like so much build up on this a ball going into a basket, but it really does. It's an amazing thing to watch. It's a beautiful thing.
It's better when the ball goes out in your favor, or it goes in your favor, but
you get to feel that, it's like that energy. I don't know. It's cool. I love that.
But, yeah, I guess the last thing on the Sixers, or last 2 things. We'll talk about the 0-1 Sixers. Yeah, the step over against Tyronn Lue, that would have been an ejection now. To your point, Trevor, about how soft this league is now. I have that. Man. Like, that would have been at least a technical foul. Even if it was a crucial moment in the game. These refs these days, they've been like, oh, that's taunting. Technical foul.
Yep.
Or eject his ass.
Something.
Like that. Lame-ass refs. And then the other thing, right, is we're talking of the 2018-2019 Sixers. And they were the last Sixers team. The 0-1 team was the last Sixers team to advance beyond the second round. The 18-19 team was the closest to advancing. Then talking about Jimmy Butler, we had this conversation, Hanna, the other day. And I said, at the time, I thought that the Sixers were justified in trading Jimmy Butler because Ben Simmons is a lot younger. Jimmy Butler wasn't as good then as he is now. And also he had flamed out in Chicago and Minnesota. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. Ben Simmons has become a dud and the worst contract in the league. Probably one of the worst players in the league. But I'm just saying at the time, I think it was defensible. Hanna or Pat or Trevor, any of y'all, what y'all got to say?
I think I will say, at the time, we all, and I feel like if you were a Ben Simmons admirer at that time, you're just lying to yourself because we all thought that the nucleus of the team was going to be
it was only his second year
playing.
Yeah,
we thought, Ben Simmons, rookie of the year before, whatever. You got Embiid, young team. Felt pretty good about it. I mean, if we could have kept, I think the biggest hiccup was the fact that we kept Tobias over Butler as opposed to Butler and Ben Simmons. You know what I mean? Like that kind of transition where, I was all aboard. That's why we hated him so much because we supported him for so long.
Right.
We wanted nothing but Ben Simmons to be an MVP, an all-star, the best defensive / offensive guy he could be.
We saw the potential.
Right, because it was really there. I mean, the guy was huge. You picture this freakishly large guy with Embiid, who's another freakishly large athletic guy at his position, would have been a dynamic duo. We could have ran the league for a while. And then to see that downfall happen so fast, that's why we hate him, because we took years to support his bitch ass, and then he turns around and says that we were too hard on him. It's like, whoa, easy now. Like, we gave up a lot of shit for this guy. But, yeah, after that, I was all on board with, okay, yeah, let's believe in the young guys. Similar to Maxey and Embiid now. We were like, all right, well, let's keep the nucleus together. But, yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with Avery on this. At the time, it was like Ben Simmons was 22 years old. Butler was 29. At the time, you were like, we all naively were like, well, all he has to do is develop that jumper a little bit, and then he's going to be unstoppable.
Oh, how foolish we were.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, we were all
you should
smoking
come
bad
to the
dope.
NBA with a jumper.
I mean...
It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
And Jimmy Butler had that glimmer of a closer.
I mean,
that is a missing ingredient that only comes around so often.
It's fair.
And we should have identified that immediately.
It's true.
And Harris, to me, was Aaron McKee.
Mm.
Like, nothing spectacular, worth this high contract, responsibility, leadership role, nothing. He was Aaron McKee.
He's
I think
slightly better than Aaron McKee, but I get your point.
He's only ever going to be a role player, a high-priced role player. And Butler, I will say, we hated to see him go.
Butler's gotten better since that team.
He's also got that dog in him.
Yeah,
Ben Simmons was like...
He's the closest to...
Which is like, straight. Like, you don't expect a guy who's 29 years old to get better at that point.
Exactly.
That's usually like your peak years right there. So, I mean...
Yeah, I guess if we went more on feeling than stats for certain stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, statistically, Ben was decent. I mean, he wasn't terrible. His decline was just very
it was
quick.
Extremely rapid.
It was very quick. It was like, damn, that shit, we didn't see that coming. And then that pathetic playoff run with whatever. But
oh, God.
But I also feel like the Sixers banked too much on that draft pick. The process thing, we had it work with Iverson. Got lucky with it. That was a 1 in a million getting such a good pick. Kobe was also in that round. Draft.
Kobe was like the 8th pick, 14th pick, some 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like
that was a good draft.
It was crazy.
Stephon Marbury.
Yeah, exactly. That era was just unreal. But I don't see good things coming from the hoping we get a good draft pick all the time, relying on this and then building off of that potential.
It was almost out of potential, out of reluctancy, because you could see Tatum in the wing just getting more and more furious about things, and they're like, "Well, we got Ben, we got potential," and meanwhile Tatum's just cooking over here, doing phenomenal. I mean, didn't get as far as we did, but you could tell that guy was. I mean, that was a bluster right there.
Yeah. I mean, Now we're starting to talk about this current team, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But
In relation to
We gotta start talking about aliens, I think.
yeah.
But I want to say one thing about the that era, just because it was
All
so
right,
great.
Yeah.
Because
this is not the current team. We're good.
yeah, the 01, 2001 season in general had just some unreal players, so it was like so fun to watch. Even if you lost, you didn't feel the angst. It was like, well, I mean, you felt the angst, but a respectable angst to go against Vince Carter. If we had lost to Vince Carter in that series, it would have been like, okay.
Or Tracy McGrady. No, we didn't play them, but Reggie Miller
Yeah.
and Jalen Rose in the first
Yeah.
round. Like, you lost to the greatest shooter at the time
Yeah.
in NBA history. Or,
Trying their hardest.
yeah.
They weren't eating cheeseburgers in the corner.
Yeah, they weren't eating Bumby burgers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And
Oh.
like the style of that time was so much aggression, but flavor, and that's what Iverson brought. That was, and he brought it out of everyone else too.
Yeah.
It was like a good melting pot, and the influence of street ball.
Oh,
which
for sure.
Today I was going
Yeah.
hard watching and one mixtape. Like,
Yeah.
So I was
Yo,
like, that's
you remember
exactly what it is.
Hot sauce?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skip to my Lou. You remember
Skip
these
to
cats?
My Lou, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, his I watched the skip tape today. Like
Yeah, we
at
watched
work.
that before, yeah.
Like that's if you want the nostalgia good feelings, that's what to watch.
There's an And One documentary on Netflix. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
did we watch
you watch-
that?
I
One of
don't
those,
know.
like,
I know we should just
untold
put on
sports documentaries.
Oh, yeah,
I
I think
feel like we did watch that
It's
at
pretty
one
good.
point.
Yeah, and it's like it's been bought back so many times now. I think they just did like new tryouts in Philly like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, for real?
Wow.
It looked sad, but Skip to My Lou was there. Hot Sauce was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I remember I seen
Tango
these.
was there.
I remember I seen these dudes in North Philly. Freeway did a show there. It was
Mm.
me, my older sister, and my nephew. I was probably like 12 or 13. I was like, damn, this is the shit right here.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see stuff like that no more.
Yeah, and Skip to My Lou being the only made it to the NBA.
Yeah, what was his Rafer Austin, I
Yeah,
think?
yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Yep.
And he was a decent basketball, like NBA player as well.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He played with Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he made it to the finals. They lost. He was on the Magic with
Oh, I
Dwight Howard,
remember
and
that.
Dwight Howard was
Yeah.
praising him. He at the end he started dribbling all crazy,
Yeah.
and then
No, my man had handles, yo.
And then Dwight Howard was like, "Yeah, Skip to My Lou came out. That wasn't Rafer." Like, and they lost, but he was still just like, it was so cool to see that because he could do it without getting the calls.
Yeah, it wasn't no palming violation.
Yeah.
He was crafty enough.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was, like, what I'll say is the game was tougher. Defensively, they allowed for a lot more. Offensively, like, it wasn't as aesthetically pleasing. Like, guys couldn't shoot like they can now. Spacing would usually get, like, kind of just jumbled, and you'd have three dudes standing next to each other looking clueless sometimes. But, like, it was a lot less dramatic. The refs let players play more. It wasn't so much based on who can shoot from 30 feet out. It was more,
so boring.
yeah, there was a lot more skill involved in some ways, like defensive skill
Yeah.
that made the games more intense
Mhm.
that you don't really see now. Like, I still like the NBA today, but
It changed
it has
from
gotten soft.
Yeah.
handle and drive to shooting.
Yeah, shoot as a team,
Over.
shoot 53s a
Shoot
game.
and draw a foul.
Over.
Yeah,
It's all about drawing a foul.
yeah,
Drawing the foul, if they want to learn how to do that, they watch street ball.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, players don't even really try to draw fouls
they do it in the
anymore.
most pathetic
They just
way.
shoot
'cause
threes or
they
like
know the ref is going to be
cry.
like, "Oh wow, someone touched Steph Curry. Like we gotta get him to the free throw line now." Like, all right,
Yeah.
cool. This is not fun. I mean,
Dude, bring back Tim Donaghy. Bring back gambling on the games, man. Let
Yeah,
them
that
get
was the
real
golden
gangster
age.
with it.
Yeah.
That was when he was reffing.
Yeah.
Yep. Bring back Tim Donaghy, man. Where you at?
But 2001, the Sixers tragically lose the NBA Finals. What happens later that year? 9/11. So you could say two bad things happened
I
in
guess
2001.
3 technically, but
Wait, what was the third one?
well, for counting. Well, never mind. I'm not getting nitty gritty in this. I'm not that saying. You got
Wait, you're telling me that another bad thing happened?
two
besides...
towers and one final. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, that was just.
Well, if you're going that deep, then you could also... Well, Whatever.
Y'all getting off the rails
Bad.
here. What about
Aliens.
I
aliens?
think
Aliens.
Iverson got married that year, so he also did get a ring.
That's good.
Okay.
But also,
So that probably erases one of the towers. So we're back to two bad things.
but also he signed that deal in 2001 with Reebok,
Oh, then we started getting our Iversons on. Yep.
and he got the $800,000 a year deal with a trust fund. So he, at 50, gets $32 million.
What?
He
They put
turns
away
50 in a couple years.
in 2030. So
Nah.
they put it.
He wasn't born in 1980. He was born in 1975. He's 48. He turns 50.
Is it 50 or 55? I know it's 2030.
Oh,
That
so
he
it's probably
gets
50.
this
It's
trust
55.
fund.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Matumbo's number. He gets $32 million, but something about his divorce clause,
She gets a
she
cut?
gets half.
Nice.
No! Damn.
Because he signed a post-nup with her where he broke every clause that he wasn't supposed to cheat, gamble, or drink or something, and he broke
mean-
everything, so she got everything. But out of the goodness of her heart, let him keep half. So come this...
That's still a decent chunk of change.
16 mil?
He's going to
Yeah.
spend it all at
Plus
the
he
TGI
gets, you know-
Fridays on City Line Avenue. That's his spot, yo. Or it used to be.
Damn.
So yeah, I thought that was interesting.
That's a smart deal, I guess.
2001 was a big year.
Big time.
But yeah, I mean,
lot
you
of
know,
stuff
that
going
was
on.
genius to put that money away, that he could not touch that until
Yeah.
he calmed
Yeah, I mean, he
all the
burnt
way
through
down.
a lot of money, too,
Yeah.
between...
Knowing himself, like, he was kind of thinking ahead.
He tried.
He probably should have been smarter about his gambling and his drinking.
55 takes a lot longer to get to than you think. He was like, oh, I'm good to go. And then he just spent a lot of money gambling.
Yeah. At the TGI Fridays on City Ave, man. Whenever I drive past that place, I think of AI. Because they used to practice at PCOM right down the street.
Mm.
And he would just go there instead of going to practice. We talking about practice.
We're talking about practice. We're talking about aliens.
Yeah, so
We gotta get on this. We don't have a lot of time.
y'all were telling me about this today in the group
Yeah,
chat.
so there was
I had no idea. What's this all about
there
now?
was a congressional hearing, with like, so there was this Navy intelligence guy, and then there was some other like Navy guy, like Air Force guy, and some other guy, like, and they were basically talking about how this guy basically said, like, under oath that yes, there have been UFO crashes, and we did, as he put it, recover what do you say, biologicals,
Biological material and
and that it's not human.
like whatever.
Yeah.
So they essentially were like, yeah, we got some bodies in this thing, and we got aircraft material, which is like, all right, boring. Let's talk about these bodies real quick. And they were like, so where can we find these things that you guys have locked up? He's like, well, you know, I can't tell you where, but I can point you to a guy. It's like some
Yes,
bullshit.
David Grush.
It's like a video
former
game
Rush.
mission.
U.S. intelligence official.
It's like,
So-
you gotta go talk to the sage
So, yeah,
over here.
there
It's
was
like,
like-
a side quest.
yeah, it's on
You're
site,
sending us
yeah.
on side quests?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just
Mr.
funny
Grush,
watching
man.
these like videos of the hearing and stuff. It's like AOC's asking questions about aliens. This
What
fucking
kind
guy.
of questions was she asking?
I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but it's
She's like, what kind of drinks do they make up there? They're like, what? They're like, never mind.
It's like, will they go on strike with us?
Yeah.
He probably was asking, like, do the aliens believe in workers' rights?
yeah.
It's like, let me stop
Do
ragging
they
on
have
her.
unions up
Somebody
there?
call
What?
Will Smith.
Yeah. Well, she's like, what's their healthcare policy up there? He's like, well, we don't know. We killed them right away, so I don't know.
I would assume that like if these alien spaceships crashed, they're probably they're probably dead on arrival. If they were able to recover them, it's probably because they crashed,
Well,
right?
My thinking is, though, is that if you're an alien flying into the, I guess, Earth, and your spaceship can't withstand our atmosphere, like, where the fuck are you coming from?
Dude, see,
Also, like, I expected them to, like, people, like, fly in,
Yeah, I
fly
expected
out.
them to be more
fly
competent
in,
than
fly
we
out,
are.
like,
well,
you're-
no,
you
this is
know-
the thing that the only aliens that we've been able to recover are alien drunk drivers. Because they're the ones that are crashing their spaceships. if they were sober,
True.
they'd be able to fly in and out, no problem.
They're drinking that space juice.
Yeah, what do you think aliens are getting drunk
They're
off of?
I don't know.
They're high off space weed?
4-0.
Space weed, space booze.
They're like
I hope
Moon juice, man. They're drunk off moon juice.
I hope there's
Yeah.
Miller Lite out there somewhere for them, though. They haven't tasted great.
Yeah, they
yet.
probably get drunk off like space acid.
yeah.
I would throw an Eagles jersey on them so fast.
But it's like we believe these aliens had were behind on child support payments. they were fleeing from a summons from alien family court.
It's very odd. I mean, I feel like we all do. I mean,
Yeah, there's been
aliens
footage
out
since like
there.
the 70s.
I don't know what to
UFOs
make of
and
this
whatnot.
whole like I mean, when you tell me that like the guy's like an intelligence guy, like that raises some red flags for me, because it's like, well, you know, think about like the CIA and the FBI, all these guys, like they ain't always telling you the truth.
Yo, have
No,
you ever
they
met
wanna-
anyone from like CIA or FBI?
No.
They're
I
not
met-
very
I
smart.
met one FBI guy.
They're not very smart, man. They probably don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, I don't know. He doesn't, like... I could very well imagine that someone just, like, passed in their office, someone just, like, passed this guy a little memo as, like, a joke, and this guy just, like, took it and ran with it and, like, hit it somewhere, and now he's like, oh, I'm blowing the lid off this shit, like, and it's all just, like, complete
Gibberish.
bullshit. Yeah.
It's also like, or if it's not, it's so secretive that they're like, yes, I can tell you everything, but I can't say it right now. It's like, all right, well, you got the whole world, well, whatever,
Yeah.
watching.
Why are we
like,
all here?
right, what are we doing this hearing for if you can't, like, roll one of these fucking aliens out up the aisle on a stretch bed and, like, oh, look, there he is, we got one, or whatever this thing is. That'd be cool, or a picture. Nothing. Just a bunch of, like, yes, we have seen a UFO.
Yeah,
like,
send us
man,
on
bitch,
some-
we know that shit.
Send us on some side
Let's just, like,
quests.
get on the record. Do we all believe in aliens here?
Yes.
Hell yeah. You know how big the fucking space is?
Yeah, Hannah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you
Yeah,
can't.
as well. Like, I don't know if there's any of it ever come here, but they're definitely out there somewhere.
I feel like it would be kind of
Universe
ignorant
is too
to
big,
not
you know?
assume that there's something else out there that is some sort
right.
of life
It'd be
form.
arrogant to think that
Yeah.
they're the only thing.
Like it, you know, it's just big as fuck, infinite.
Yeah,
You're telling me we're the only fucking jerk offs out here dancing around, getting blown up in submarines, looking for fucking rocks in the bottom of the ocean? Come on now. At least this guy made it to a different planet and died. We went to a fucking thing that we know is there. We're like, let's go look for this shit. They died. They're all fucking each other down there, dying
Dude,
and shit.
what if the alien spacecraft was just like their equivalent of the guys going? Like, what if the alien was like a billionaire alien, and everyone on the alien planet is just making fun of him, like, this fucking idiot.
They're like, he's
Look at
going
these-
to Earth again.
Look at
We've
this
been
fucking
there.
stupid.
Yeah.
Look at this stupid idiot. He knows that this cheap spaceship can't withstand the Earth's atmosphere. He's going anyway because he's an arrogant billionaire. Fuck him.
Yeah, he flew off in the space version of the
Yeah.
What an
submersible.
idiot. Yeah.
Probably
They're
no toilet in that thing either.
They're like, we've already built the pyramids. We've been there
They just-
before.
they-
It's like,
they-
I'm going to go see it again in
Like
person.
the army recovered the spaceship. They just opened up. It's just covered in shit. There's just shit everywhere inside it. It's just been floating around there for like 5 days.
Damn. Aliens are cool. I mean, I feel like the depiction of aliens have always been like, wow, they're going to be this
Yeah.
super smart, intelligent being. But
Well,
like,
that's the
if they
thing.
crash doing this shit, we're good to go. We're
That's the
all right.
thing. Is like
Yeah.
there's been like a few of these, supposed like alien like videos of aliens that come out or whatever, and now people are like, oh shit, they tried to say it was fake, but I think this is real now, or whatever. But my thing with all that shit is, it's like, do you really think that the real aliens just coincidentally look exactly like the cartoon drawings that people have been making of aliens with like the small mouth and the big
the
eyes,
big head and the-
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the chances that they would look exactly like that? Like, if I was going to make some like fake alien video and try to pass it off as real, I'd probably try to make them look a little different. Like, you know, like put like a wig on them or something.
Like a human or
Give
a
him
dog.
give him like hair metal guy hair.
I find it more weird that like NASA is so, you know, we're catching all this shit with aliens, but like a meteor the size of like a skyscraper flew by Earth by like not that close, like in between the moon and the Earth, it flew by. They didn't catch it till it went past us. I'm like, you guys are out here looking for aliens and shit, but like we almost got fucked up.
Damn. Yeah,
Like,
haven't
what?
these guys ever seen Armageddon?
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And Bruce, he ain't got that shit
Let's know about
anymore.
this shit.
Bruce Willis ain't gonna be able to do it anymore. He can't even talk. So
Yeah.
like we're fucked.
Well, because NASA's not doing shit anymore. It's all about, Jeff Bezos and SpaceX and all these
Yeah.
Man, until they get on the moon, I ain't worried about their bitch
taking
ass.
luxury trips to the space.
Yeah,
You need
Elon Musk, man. Yeah, Zuck needs to
some
beat
people
his ass,
monitoring those
dude.
asteroids.
Whip his ass, dude. Tell him to keep his ass up in space and save us from the meteors.
They should do a space fight on the moon. Because then you could just throw somebody out of the atmosphere.
How would
To
the lack
death.
of gravity affect that fight?
I saw a thing where if you jump as hard as you can, you do get pulled right back down. Like, it's not like you... Now, on Pluto, if you were to jump off Pluto...
You're dead,
You're
dude.
gone.
You're just
So, like, you gotta send their bitch ass to, like, a very low gravity
Well, like some
state.
yeah. I mean, some planets have like a higher gravity than we do.
Yeah, like
so it's like
Jupiter, you
couldn't-
would just
could
be
barely
If you
walk.
sent Musk to Jupiter, man, he'd be flat like a pancake. He would just die.
Yeah.
And it would just be sucked up in there. Fucked up.
Yeah, send his ass to Jupiter and
Space
that
is
red
nuts.
dot on Jupiter.
I fucking love space. I don't ever want to go up in there. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool from down here. I get it. But, like,
It's good to look at from a distance. You know?
mesmerizing.
Yeah, we gotta have a space episode, I suppose.
We gotta
Just-
smoke instead of drinking
Yeah,
for that one.
we gotta
Have
get
me
yeah.
back.
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah.
get real high and just talk about space for an hour.
I wish, damn, I just pictured them, like, doing this, like, hearing and shit, and it's, like, Independence Day. Will Smith just shows up with, like, a fucking alien in his flatbed. He's like, all right, guys, we're here. We got one. I got one right here.
Yeah, it's
But-
like when the government finally decides to reveal the aliens, they just get Will Smith to come do it for it as part of their big press conference or whatever.
Oh, man. Fucked
Show
up.
a dead, drunk alien. Well, I guess that's just about. I think we said about all we can say about the aliens. Hannah, do you got anything to plug? Anything people should know about?
Sure, yeah. I will plug Mug. Pat Bev, come do some pottery.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hannah
Oh my
will tell
God.
you how it's done better than the girls at Box. She'll be like, you doing this shit wrong.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, come do some pottery at Mug, have some coffee. Soon.
Yeah.
8th and Federal, Mug, coffee and clay.
Yeah, shout out Vamo
Yeah.
Coffee.
Shout out
coming
Vamo
soon,
Coffee,
right?
skip to my Lewis. Yeah, hopefully 3 months or so.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
We'll be there in the
open.
winter.
Yeah.
We'll get Pat Bev in there before a game.
Mhm.
Like, yo, you got to come through, man. Get some coffee. Make you a bowl.
Yeah.
Be chilling with the homies, man. We'll record a pod there. We'll get Pat Bev on.
Oh, man.
Exactly.
That'd be a dream. Holy shit.
Yeah, you know what the man likes now, you know. Well, that'll just about do it for us here at the Citywide. Please leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you listen to your podcast. Send us an email at citywidepod@gmail.com. And from all of us here at the Citywide, good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Peace, y'all.
See ya.